So the first chapter in Your Spark is Light, my book, which is free as on my site, talks about how the universe uses repetitive patterns to repeat itself, repetitive Fibonacci sequences, or math, or ratios of information. Scientists don't want to unify or don't know how to unify consciousness and science. So the universe uses patterns to repeat itself. If you read my book, Your Spark is Light, the first chapter is on the repetitive sequences of information, the repetitive patterns of information, how the Fibonacci sequence is used to repeat information throughout the universe. That's the basic fundamental level. The subatomic particles inside of you are black holes. They contain the free energy of a quark, just like Star Trek tells you. And the universe found a way to take archaea, combine them with bacteria, and power bacterial DNA to make something as evolved as a zebrafish or a mouse or you or me. How does it do that? It does it by banging black holes. So when people think of a black hole, they think of a black hole as, I'm using Ultima for those of you who don't know. They think of a black hole as a supermassive black hole like Sagittarius A in the middle of our galaxy that won the Nobel Prize in Physics for Sir Roger Penrose, Gez and Genzel, Doctors Gez and Genzel in 2020. But actually inside of us there are microscopic black holes, and we each have an accompanying Higgs field or field of energy that gives rise to the mass of the body that we walk around with, and it's coherent through our body. So the neuroscientists are looking for how does that happen in the microtubules, which I look at as Tipler cylinders. For those of you who know physics, they look like Tipler cylinders. How does consciousness, and for those of you who don't know physics, Frank Tipler talks about this thing called the Tipler cylinder, which would be almost infinitely long and would allow time travel. And when you look at a brain's microtubule, that's what it looks like. An infinite or a long cylinder that could allow time travel or even retrocausality. The other fascinating thing is that there's quantum studies now that show that when a photon hits something with mass, the information from the photon can be conveyed out of the mass before it hits. That implies retrocausality, but that's a different topic. So yes, you're seeing the gurus now come online and talk about how the universe uses patterns to repeat itself, an age-old knowledge of the Fibonacci sequence. We see it in Leonardo da Vinci's work. We see it in the tarsals and metatarsals of our hand. I post that funny picture sometimes of Charlie my dog lined up like an embryo, which also matches a spiral galaxy. The universe uses ratios of information. Sir Roger Penrose calls it conformal geometry, basically. So if you understand that there's a black hole, Sag A, in the center of our galaxy, the center of all galaxies, you also have to realize that the subatomic particles within us that contain quarks are all dipping their toe into and out of the same knowledge base or the same field of energy information. Therefore, that's the field of energy or information that connects all of us. And when you take a sperm from a dad with its 23 strands of DNA and its epigenetic information, environmental information. It's not just DNA, it's light. And when I say light, I mean the Higgs information and everything, and the 96% of energy that we don't understand. And the DNA of a woman, and you bang them, which is what we're studying at CERN, you get a zinc spark. The zinc spark is the indicator that a new soul, light, or consciousness has been trapped in a biological vessel. There's nothing new under the sun. So I think some of the consciousness people and some of the physics people are starting to talk about this or get it. So it's all free in my book, Your Spark is Light. It was published in March of 2020. The paper was written about 6 months before that. It's all free on my website, including a video that explains the whole thing if you want to watch more. The Fibonacci sequence is a repeated sequence of numbers that predict the ratio of the universe, and you can apply that to your tarsals, the bones in your hand, your metatarsals, the way the vessels come off of your aorta, how we grade an embryo to put back for after IVF. You can apply it to black holes, big and small. What I'm saying is the subatomic particles inside of the egg and the sperm, when they collide, open a microscopic wormhole or holes and trap light from the singularity, the totality, the all, the I am that I am into the mass of the zygote.